calling Generation XXX. For millions of kids, hardcore porn has become the default sex ed.
Boys were watching porn on their phone during school, so yes, during independent reading, they would do that.
My room is the G-spot. Call me Mr. Flintstone. I can make your bed rock.
Winifred Bonjean Alpart was only 12 years old when she shockingly admitted she'd seen porn and understood all the innuendo.
We're getting messages from everywhere that are saying if you dress this way, you are going to be either treated well or you're going to feel powerful. Sex is power.
Winifred is featured in a documentary called Sexy Baby.
We're like the first generation to have what we have. So there's no one before us that can kind of guide us. I mean, we are the pioneers.
It shows girls often acting out like typical teens, at times pushing sexual boundaries. But it also exposes some of life's tougher lessons, like the time Winifred's friend Danielle first learned about sex on a porn site.
It was this one black guy, one Hispanic guy, and this one very blonde woman. And they were just like ferociously banging each other. It was very, I mean, I came home, I was bawling my eyes out. I'll never forget it.
That's what porn sex is. It's sport.
The documentary also follows Nicole, a former porn star who provides an unlikely voice of reason, pointing out that porn doesn't involve true intimacy.
It's definitely not making love. There's a huge difference. Making love is the kind of sex that you want to cry afterwards just because it is so beautiful.
90% of kids between the ages of 8 and 16 say they've viewed porn online. And with access just a click away, blocking exposure to these erotic images is nearly impossible. And experts say kids don't necessarily go looking for porn. One suggestive word searched in Google can quickly lead to something they never expected to find and can impact their relationships and how they view intimacy for years to come.
Children are viewing hardcore porn years and years and years before they will ever have their own first sexual experiences, and it's shaping their view of what sex is. That is why what we're doing is so important.
Cindy Gallup is a former ad exec turned entrepreneur who thinks the solution is to replace hardcore online porn with images of real lovemaking.
I have sex with younger men.
She gave this rather straightforward TED Talk in 2009. It went viral.
There's an entire generation growing up that believes that what you see in hardcore pornography is the way that you have sex. And so it's not surprising that hardcore pornography de facto has become sex education.
Cindy says today young boys and grown men alike have a warped view of what real sex is like because of hardcore porn.
One man who is in his 40s and therefore has clearly watched a fair amount of porn in his lifetime, he's a very big fan, and he said to me, "When I watch your videos, I feel I've never seen people have sex before." That's the difference between porn and real-world sex. Another man said, "Watching porn makes me want to jerk off. Watching your videos makes me want to have sex."
Or make love, I would imagine.
The same difference.
So now she has a daring new project called Make Love Not Porn, a kind of YouTube video streaming channel online where real-life couples give us a peek underneath their sheets. The site went public in January and already has more than 100,000 users.
I conceived MakeLoveNotPorn.tv as a user-generated crowdsourced platform where anybody can submit videos of themselves having real-world sex. I'd like to socialize sex in order to make it socially acceptable to talk about real-world sex and to make it as socially shareable as anything else we currently share on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram.
Turns out people are willing to pay just as much money to watch real lovemaking as the pros.
We like to call them our Make Love Not Porn stars. So they can actually benefit from sharing the sex they have in the real world. And even at this early stage, several of our Make Love Not Porn stars are already making 4 figures.
They go by the names Violet and Rye. They are Make Love Not Porn stars and asked us not to show their faces.
It started to take off and a lot of people started to find us.
They are a husband and wife team. Both have day jobs, but also like to upload video of themselves having real sex.
We got a lot of people coming to the blog and commenting and interacting with us saying, like, this is the kind of thing that we're looking for. We love this. We wish that there was more stuff like this. And it just felt instantly like, oh, there are tons of other people like us out there looking for something that they can't find.
Why don't you guys kiss?
It's a business model that's working. Professional softcore porn producer and director Jinsey Lumpkin finds that people want porn they can relate to.
Real people want to see real sex in real bedrooms because people want something more satisfying. We like to see all of that sort of emotional buildup that goes with sex. I think that it mimics real life in a certain way.
Lumpkin is running a softcore porn empire and is winning awards for the kind of real sex that she produces. While kids will continue to outsmart even the toughest of parental controls and access porn, Lumpkin says the industry is evolving, finding ways to make porn more about real love and real bedroom intimacy.
Porn is a fantasy, and it can't ever stand in as sex education because the way that it's put out there, oftentimes you just feel like a woman is nothing but an object. And I try to offer an alternative to that, show women in a positive and empowering light. And I think that the more voices that we can have and the more variety that we have showing that, then you can get a better sense of the sexual experience.
Slutty? That's good.
We make ourselves seem like down to
Winifred says she's matured since the documentary was filmed and now understands the imagery many kids see far too soon doesn't translate to true life or true love.
If parents are able to talk to their children about what real love and real sex later on is, most of the kids I know would trust our parents over to porn stars that we've never met.
For Nightline, I'm Lindsay Davis in New York.